So today's topic about finite open interval in mathematics. So what is the finite open interval in mathematics? So here's the some geometrical graph about finite open interval. So here's the B point, here's the A point, and here's the graph on x-axis. And if a point and interval A and a point B, and between all the points in interval, and if A point is not involving in this interval, then this is called finite open interval. Here our notations, interval notation, A comma B, we define an open interval, and here's brackets A comma B, and this bracket use American notation, American first use, Americans denote American mathematicians, or other sign we use in mathematics to define interval notation, the French notation, and here's the French notation. And how we define finite open interval: order of a set or notation x such that x a less than x less than b. It means all the elements between x and b, okay, x and b involving, but this is not involved. So here is the finite and closed interval. Finite and closed interval means both point A and B involving this interval, and all the numbers between x numbers between A comma B are also involving. And here we define interval notation A comma B. Here is the American notation, and order or set notation x such that x a greater less than or equal to x less than or equal to b. It means all the elements between A and B also involving, and A comma A and B as well as involving in this interval, small interval. Okay, understand closed finite interval. So let's move on our topic. Here's our examples. If x greater than 2, it means from here this point is not involving, and all above here numbers are also involved, but 2 is not involving in this interval. Okay, so here our second definition: x less than 0. It means 0 is not involving, and here's x from here to here, all numbers involving this infinite interval. Finite in half open or semi open interval. Here is our next topic: finite in half open or semi open interval. Both name we use in mathematics. Notations, interval notations. Here is the A comma B, means A involving but not B involved. A comma B, here is the American notation or French notation. This notation is called French notation, interval notation. A comma B, it means A involving, and this sign represents B is not involving in this interval, and this sign is also involving. So this is our bird. Okay, and order or set notation x such that x a less than or equal to x less than b. This is an inequality sign. We use inequality to represent semi open interval. It means a involving but b is not involving, and between these numbers x are also involving. Okay, this is very simple topic. So let's move on our next. Here is the finite in half closed or semi closed interval notations. Here is first we understand graphically, and Here's A, B. It means A involving but not involving B. This is in American notations. It means A is closed but B is open side, or in French notation A comma B means A closed or B open. It means A involving this interval, this point, A involving but not involving B. Order or set notation X such that X A less than or equal to X less than or equal to B. This is the inequality notation. Okay. Left infinite open interval. Left infinite open interval said that the A point is not present, but from A to all the x pointers above up to negative infinity are also involving, and as the graph x-axis notations, interval notations, negative infinity comma A. Okay, American notation. Interval notation, this is the interval notation, front notation, and order or set notation x such that x less than A. It means x point involving but A is not involved. Infinite interval, left infinite, right infinite interval. Here's the right infinite interval, right infinite open interval. Graph B point is not involving, but from B up to so on up to infinity is point involving. Interval notations. Here is the interval notation B comma positive infinity, American notation, B comma positive infinity, French notation. This is both notation we use in mathematics. Order or set notations x such that x greater than A. This is the set or order notations. In mathematics we use this notation also. This is a very important topic in mathematics. Left infinite closed interval. Here is the left infinite closed interval. Said that A point involving but also B point involving up to negative infinity. Notations, interval notation from negative infinity comma A. Okay. A is not involving but negative infinity involving, American notation. There is different notation. In order or set notation x such that x less than or equal to. Okay. Left infinite closed interval from B point is involving up to positive infinity comma A notation. We define infinity comma A interval notation, and this is the American notation, and this is the different notation. Okay. X such that x less than or equal to A order or set. Here are the examples of intervals. From A x to x plus A means ending points x plus A. It means first we x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3 up to x plus 8th form. Here's the addition x plus A on the number line, all number greater than x and less than x plus A fall within that open interval. Okay. Class of interval. Whale sighting reports over the first 50 days in the whale watching season with class interval sizes of 10 days. Here's our frequency whales from 1 to 3 to up to 9, and the interval days from here to here, and day numbers interval 0 to 10 and 11 to 20, 21 to 13, 31 to 14, 41 to 15. Number of whales sighted, frequency 4, 9, 8, 5, 4 regarding these. The rate of sighting was highest between days 10 and 13. Understand? Histogram. What is the histogram? Ages of people at family reunions. This is the using for type of intervals. and number of peoples 0 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16 18 20, and here's the ages 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 13 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89 ages. Okay, here's using the interval notation, and here's the other example. This notation said that 0 involving but not involving 4. Here is the closed and here is the open. Okay, closed at 0 and open dot at 4. Simply that 4 between this interval from 0 to 4, 1 2 3 involving this interval, 0 involving but 4 is not involving this interval. Inequality versus interval notation. Inequality versus interval notation. X greater than 5 means x are all the points 6 7 up to so on, and 5 is not involving these points, and these points are greater than x point greater than 5 from here to here. And we interval notation we define 5 comma infinity. Previous page we learned x greater than or equal to 5. It means from 5 to up to so on, but 5 also involving this interval. And here is the closed interval notation 5 comma infinity up to so on. Okay, infinity not involving x less than 5. From here 5 4 3 5 is not involving, but 4 3 2 1 0 negative 1 negative 2 negative 3 negative 4 negative 5 negative 6 all involving this point. Then we define interval notation negative infinity comma 5. Okay, x less than or equal to 5. Here from 5 are also involving, but these points are also involving in this interval. We define negative infinity comma 5. These negative infinity means these are all the points 4 up to negative 6 are open and 5 is closed in this interval. We define here. And 1 less than x less than 5, it means 1 is not involving, 5 is not involving, but 2 3 4 are involving this interval, and we define 1 comma 5. And here 1 less than or equal to x less than 5, it means 1 involving and all point x involving this interval, but 5 is not involving this interval. Here we define on number line, and 1 comma 5, 1 is closed and 5 is open. 1 less than x less than or equal to 5, that means 1 is not involving in this interval, and all the point x involving in this, and 5 also involving. The 2 3 4 involving, 5 involving in this interval, but 1 is not involving in this interval. Here we define 1 kilo open and 5 is closed. 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 5, this is the closed interval. That means 1 involving and 5 involving, and x are all point involving between these 2 points. Here we define on interval 1 comma 5, x less than 1 or x greater than 5. Here both we define 2 interval notations. From here 1 are not involving, but from 0 negative 1 negative 2 negative 3 negative 4 negative 5 negative 6 are involving this point. And here x greater than 5, it means 6 7 are above points 5, negative 1 comma 1 union 5 comma infinity. This is your union on sets, on union of sets in intervals. Okay, x less than or equal to 1 or x greater than 5, here are the all points. Okay, This is our next topic. Inshallah, we understand very well. Closed interval c comma d means c less than or equal to x less than or equal to d. This is the example, very important example in closed interval. C comma d, any book you can see this thing, then understand this inequality. C less than or equal to x less than or equal to d, it means C and D, and between C and D, these are point x involving, and C and D also involving. This is a closed interval. Open interval S comma T, it means S is not involved, T is not involved, but x between 2 points are all involving. Okay. Infinite intervals. Infinite intervals, it means b comma infinity means x greater than or equal to b comma infinity means x greater than 5, negative infinity comma b means x less than or equal to b, negative infinity comma b means x less than b. Here is our other point. 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 6, it means 2 comma 6. This is the closed interval. It means 2 and 6 are involving this interval of convergence, and between 2 and 6 these are points, 3 points 3, 4, 5 are involving this interval, and we define this closed interval notation, American notation. And 2 6, 2 comma 6, this is the open interval. 2 less than x less than 6, understand, it means 2 and 6 are not involving, but x are point x involving between 2 points 2 and 6. Here we define 2 comma 6, and 3 4 5 are all points x points. Here the x, here the points involving between 2 points 2 comma 6. Okay, here we define 2 comma 6. 2 less than or equal to x less than 6, it means 2 involving, it is closed, and 6 not involving, it is open. Here is the notation 2 comma 6, and here is the graphically defined v, some points 2 and 6, and between all points 3 4 5 are x points, 2 involving but not involving 6, 2 comma 6. Here we define 2 less than x less than or equal to 6, it means 2 not involving, 6 involving, in all points between 2 6 x points are involving these points. Here we define intervals notation 2 comma 6, 2 not involving, 6 involving, 3 4 5 are all point x points. Okay, I understand these examples very well. Okay, so thanks for watching my video. Here our bird fly, and next topic is union and intersection of our intervals. So let's go move on our next video. Inshallah, we will going to making these videos, and I will try my best that you will understand my theory of interval of convergence. These topics are very important topic in mathematics, and without these topics mathematics is incomplete for you. And develop your logic, build your logic thinking on these points, apply in real world problems. Thanks.